Next on NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
On this week's special edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, we feature some of our favorite stories from Pfizer Animal Health.
And now, NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman with host Kevin Oxner.
Hello and welcome to this week's special edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. I'm Kevin Oxner. Thanks for joining us. This week, we're featuring educational segments brought to you by our friends at Pfizer Animal Health. Let's take a look. According to Cattle Facts, an open cow costs almost $400 per year. Her ability to conceive and calve on schedule is affected by multiple factors, including the presence of diseases such as IBR, BVD, leptospirosis, including leptoharjo-bovis. For this reason, producers should consider a comprehensive reproduction vaccination program that helps provide extended protection against these harmful diseases. To understand these benefits, Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter heads to the sandhills of western Nebraska.
Really, ranchers use reproductive vaccines to control or to reduce risk for losses that result in reproductive losses. It's so important to have cows, heifers calving early in the calving season. We need to really grow the number of pounds at weaning. We are very much in a preventive mode as we discuss reproductive efficiency, so we want to head off any losses that might ensue.
One of the main places I think it comes into play is preparing that heifer to go into the cow herd, to become a mother cow, to stay in the herd, to breed back year after year, keep her immunity up so she has a healthy baby, breeds back each year.
Mick Knott, managing partner for Lute Ranches in the sandhills of western Nebraska, has seen firsthand the benefits of a good reproductive vaccination program.
We're set up here with about 1,500 head of cows and two full-time employees taking care of those on a range situation. We don't want to have to take time to doctor calves or cows or anything.
Mick has been using Pfizer Animal Health products for 15 years. He has a high level of trust thanks to his success using Bovishield Gold vaccines to help keep his operation on track.
I've used Bovishield Gold since its inception. We like the fact that it's a modified live virus and it fits into several different facets of our operation.
I think the Bovishield Gold product is a great product to implement into preventive health strategies on ranch operations. I think it targets expectations and goals of ranchers for reproductive preventive health.
Reproductive diseases can cause substantial productivity and profitability losses, particularly through effects on reproductive performance and calf losses. Bovishield Gold vaccines help producers protect their cattle and profits from several costly diseases.
Using a vaccine that contains many antigens or agents, if you will, really allows for flexibility as well as convenience in a preventive health program. And so by being able to use it at the right time, it certainly it fits very well into when ranchers handle their cattle and are able to really incorporate it well into a preventive strategy.
There's a spectrum of different diseases out there that we need to be protected against. You know, we can't just hone in on one thing. That'll get us in trouble. You have your, BVD's the big one in the news that everybody hears about, the persistently infected calf. But you don't want to forget about the red nose.
That's one of the most important parts about Bovishield Gold, is that ability to cover a wide gamut of diseases with a single dose. Vaccines are expensive, we know that, but trips through the chute are even every bit as expensive as the vaccine. So the more that we can cover in a system that allows different vaccines to work together, the better it is.
Bovishield Gold vaccines not only provide a high level of disease protection, they also take that protection to the next level with a duration of immunity that helps protect against the diseases that can impact reproduction.
That is one thing we really like about the Bovishield Gold. We can give it at preg time and have a year's protection in that animal. And that saves us a trip through the chute to get as many of those jobs done as we can there. And that will be her basic vaccination program for as long as she stays in the cow herd.
Knott says vaccinating fewer times pays off in lower labor costs and reduces stress on the animals. In addition, he also relies on Bovishield Gold to help keep respiratory problems in his calves to a minimum.
When I first became involved with the operation, we had problems with summer pneumonia. And our veterinarian, local sales reps got together and thought that we could probably get away from some of that by using the Bovishield Gold in the spring at branding time on the calves. That has been very successful. We've virtually eliminated any summer pneumonia and have very few health problems through the summertime. So that started our success with the Bovishield Gold.
A strong reproductive vaccination program is key to a successful cow-calf operation. Let's return to reporter Brian Baxter for more from the Sandhills of western Nebraska.
Vaccination timing can help maximize results.
As we consider vaccine use and where they fit in preventive health strategies, timing is very important because we want to induce or hopefully cause enough immunity so that when exposure occurs, disease will not ensue. Also, in regard to reproductive vaccines, peak immunity at peak exposure times is part of the plan. So as we set up protocols, that's part of the planning.
Talking with your local veterinarian is a good place to start when deciding which vaccination program is right for you.
I really like to see a rancher work very closely with his or her veterinarian to think through preventive health strategies, to think about the risks that are occurring in that operation, and to make adjustments, changes that might sometimes be related to management, and it might relate to incorporating a vaccine.
I think the veterinarian is aware of what's going on in that area, in his practice area, and there may be some things there that the producers are not aware of that they need to be protecting the cow herd against.
After you've selected a vaccination program, Dr. Grotelushin says there are a few key things to keep in mind when handling and administering vaccines. First, read the package insert and follow the directions. Always store the vaccine in a temperature-controlled environment. Never mix more vaccine than you'll use in 1 hour, and always use clean needles and syringes. Though margins are tight, producers shouldn't be tempted to cut corners on sound preventive health programs.
In a tough economy, it's always easy to pick out certain things as targets of cutting. However, health risks are ongoing, and they range from chronic losses to risk of catastrophic losses. And so it becomes, I think, a relatively low-cost budget item to really control risk, and probably should rate very, very low on the list of things that might be eliminated, because it does address risk so well.
It's a better deal to vaccinate. It's back to the ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, you might say. That vaccine that works well and does provide that protection, even though you may not need it, at some point it could be very needed. And having the cow herd set up in a routine, regular vaccination program is much easier than playing catch-up later on in the process when you have problems.
For Mick Knott and his veterinarian, Dr. Tim Knott, there's no doubt that helping prevent disease with Bovishield Gold vaccines helps enhance productivity. They also appreciate having access to the Pfizer Animal Health team.
We've been using Pfizer products for the past 15 years, and the main reason that we use them is their sales and technical staff. Our veterinary likes the products. They fit well into our operation and what we're trying to accomplish in herd health.
They're a quality company. They have good tech services. If you have questions or feel like you have a problem in a herd, they're very supportive.
Ultimately, a strong vaccination program aids in the prevention of costly diseases, which translates into increased reproductive success and profit opportunities for the producer.
Reproductive success in the cow-calf operation is probably number one. The one thing that influences profitability more than anything else we do. An open cow costs a lot of money. And anything we can do for that cow to give her the opportunity to rebreed and produce a calf the following year is money in our pocket.
Reporting from western Nebraska, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
To learn more about the BovaShield Gold line of products from Pfizer Animal Health or steps you can take to start a preventative reproductive health program in your operation, log on to our website at cattlemantocattleman.org. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Draxxin, clearly cattlemen's #1 choice to fight BRD. Here's why.
Nothing is more depressing in a stalker business as the doctor. And you still have your chronics, you still have your death loss. And with Draxxin, we just found out that, especially with microplasts, you just had to be there to see the results.
And the evidence backs up what most cattlemen already know. Draxxin cuts chronics and mortalities by 70%. So talk to your veterinarian and check the online calculator at Draxxin.com. You'll see, nothing gives you more for your money when you're fighting BRD.
Just a great antibiotic.
Very, very effective. Don't let the price tag scare you.
It's a no-brainer. You just use it.
Do not use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older. Do not use in calves to be processed for veal. Draxxin has a pre-slaughter withdrawal time of 18 days. Please visit Draxxin.com or call 1-888-DRAXXIN for more information.
Before you head out here, get ready at Cabela's, your source for the hottest new gear at tough-to-beat prices. Save big on everything you need when you shop by catalog, stores, and online at Cabela's.com. Our legendary selection is field-tested and field-proven. You can trust our gear. Cabela's, world's foremost outfitter.
You take pride in the beef you raise. Countless hours invested to assure a safe and wholesome calf crop. Why trust that calf crop to just anyone? Experience the new Dinklage difference. With a long history and reputation for outstanding performance and cattle care. We use a combination of cutting-edge technologies and data-driven decision-making to establish our place as leaders in the cattle feeding industry. Allow Dinklage to be a part of your team in the quest to maximize your profits. With 5 locations to serve you in Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado. For more information on the new Dinklage difference, stop by one of our yards or visit us on the web at DinklageFeedyards.com.
Quality matters to us because we're entrusted with the safe transportation of animals. Those animals can represent generations of hard work. It's up to us to deliver the goods that drive the beef industry. We link all the segments of the beef industry together, passing the torch of quality from one business to the next. Consumers count on us to bring the quality that starts on the family ranch to their home. I'm proud of what we'll do here today.
2 100% pure USDA inspected patties are only the beginning of what make the Big Mac famous, and that's what we're made of.
Back in the day, cow-calf producers could profit simply from selling commodity calves without any documentation on calf health history. Today, savvy producers profit from preconditioning calves. In fact, premiums for preconditioned calves have been documented at 15-year highs. To better understand why such price premiums exist, we decided to turn to a feedlot manager who regularly tries to fill his pens with preconditioned calves. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter takes us to Nebraska to learn more.
Cattle feeding profitability hinges on the ability to keep cattle healthy and gaining efficiently to ultimately produce a quality end product. Craig Uden and his team at Dar Feedlot near Cozad, Nebraska have years of experience caring for their animals, ensuring they meet the highest quality standards.
We do a lot of retained ownership feeding for customers throughout the entire United States. That was the backbone of this operation in 1983 and continues on today. So we started this operation with approximately 2,500 head, and we've grown it to about 45,000 capacity today.
For these Nebraska feeders, one secret to success is buying calves that have been properly preconditioned. Preconditioning programs combine vaccination, nutrition, and management practices designed to prepare calves to best withstand the stresses of weaning.
Any given year, we can wean 15 to 20,000 head of calves for our customers, and that's both retained ownership and cattle we buy for customers. And so it's very important these cattle have a good vaccination program because it just can't cover that many cattle without it.
We get cattle from multiple different states, multiple different sources, and so when cattle get here, they're exposed to a lot of different things. It's kind of like sending your kids to school. You know, lots of different bugs floating around. The more prepared those calves are in terms of a vaccination program, deworming program, the more successful we'll be in keeping them healthy and productive.
If I'm buying them, I won't buy them if they're not preconditioned, and if it's retained ownership, customer will strongly encourage him to do it. If he doesn't, we'll show him data of why he should, and if he doesn't, then probably next year he will. It's dramatic, the difference.
A strong preconditioning program such as SelectVac from Pfizer Animal Health helps reduce the likelihood that calves will get sick after they enter the feedlot, which equals reduced time, labor, and treatment costs.
Preconditioned calves to a buyer represent animals that have reduced health risk. So they expect to treat fewer animals, have fewer problems associated with health.
Most of these calves will be fed 200 days, and if we're fighting these cattle for the first 100 days, you're going to lose half your performance in those cattle, and thus you're going to see some huge losses. And what we see is the cattle that have been preconditioned, if they do get sick, those cattle respond and right back into the pen.
I think anytime you get into a group of cattle that hasn't been preconditioned, you're going to see a higher incidence of sickness, respiratory illness, and anytime you have that kind of damage, it's going to decrease their efficiency and their ability to gain and produce.
SelectVac is a branded, third-party verified preconditioning program that has earned a reputation for delivering healthier, higher-value calves. With a strong science-based approach using Pfizer Animal Health products such as the BulvaShield Gold line of vaccines, Cattle Master Gold, One Shot, and Dectamax, producers can turn to SelectVac for flexible yet proven health and management protocols.
The SelectVac program is a program that does provide third-party verification and documentation of the health and other management practices that the cattle have had at their previous operation. It provides, I think, great credibility. It provides documentation, and I think it's a science-based program that we know provides additional value when it's implemented. Producers have options as to which types of SelectVac program they might enter their cattle into. It gives producers an option to choose a program that best fits what they want to do and accomplish.
The documentation, knowing what they have, so if we have problems, we can go back to the ranch and see, what may have happened, what didn't happen, start bringing minerals in and whatever some deficiencies and adjust that program, and basically opens the line of communication.
Everybody knows with the Select Vac program what those cattle have had and the requirements of that program, and I think that makes it a lot less confusing to the people trying to buy. The peace of mind of knowing that those cattle probably have been prepared as well as they can be for what they're going to be exposed to here makes our job a lot easier.
Preconditioning, it's consistently adding value to calves these days. Let's return to reporter Brian Baxter, who has more on why from Nebraska.
I trust Select Vac because I trust the people. And again, it's about building relationships. And those relationships are really built on having different programs and having speakers come in and tell us why and show us why. Then we go ahead and use those products and we see the results.
Cow-calf producers who follow a documented preconditioning program reap strong benefits on sale day.
Superior has a data set that's gone over a number of years that's documented differences in their health programs. Calves that have been weaned, vaccinated, for example, have garnered increased returns for ranchers for numbers of years.
In fact, 2008 price premiums range from $8.20 to $9.36 per hundredweight, equaling about $46 to $53 more per head. Buyers are willing to pay a premium for calves with documentation of a proven branded preconditioning program.
I would encourage producers to consider preconditioning programs in order to better market their cattle, as well as to improve the value of their cattle. Buyers, of course, need to know the information, the background of their cattle. And by having records of the health program that they've been through at their previous place, their previous operation, really allows them to manage their cattle appropriately. These protocols that are established are the same no matter what state these cattle are purchased in, and so there's a level of predictability that goes with a branded program.
When cattle trade hands, there just needs to be that validation that it was done and done properly, and if it was done properly, then we as producers or feeders have the confidence that we can go ahead and buy those calves and they will perform.
Many producers vaccinate their calves and still don't really know what they gave, and so it's important from our standpoint to know that, if they've been through a third-party verified program, they got, the program requirements were met, and that way we have a better idea of exactly what those calves got, because many times they've been vaccinated but we don't really know what for, and so you're kind of forced to treat them as, just as a group of calves that isn't vaccinated.
The team at Dar Feedlot also values the expertise they're able to draw upon from the Pfizer Animal Health team.
We have a pretty good relationship with them, being able to talk with them on a personal level about the concerns that we have. So just the standpoint of knowing that if there are issues, they're easily taken care of is a big part of why we use their products.
Select Vac is administered by Pfizer. Has a large support from veterinary operations people, territory managers, and I think a fairly large array of people. So support that might be needed is readily available both at the ranch and the feedlot.
I think they do a great job of communicating with the producers, both the feedlot and the cow-calf. And that's what it's about, is bridging these gaps to make a better product for a consuming public.
And producing a higher quality product benefits all segments of the beef industry.
Preconditioning programs have been around for quite a long time, and I think that they are an example of how the livestock industry, the cattle industry, really stewards or takes care of animals responsibly through preventive health and management plans that really benefit the industry. This is a process that started at the ranch that ends in the feedlot. But in the end, each segment of the industry benefits.
In general, most producers are trying to do the right thing in terms of the program that they use. Sometimes there is a little bit of confusion with different products as far as what they're actually addressing with the vaccines that they're giving. So the main thing is just to know what products that you're using and be able to pass that information down.
Anytime we can partner from farm to fork, that's better for our business, because we do produce a very good, wholesome product. We just have to we have to validate what we do in order for the consumer to have the confidence that everything was done right. That's just the way it is today. And everybody has to be on the same page to produce a quality product that we can feel good about when we present it to the retailer or the customer.
Adding value to calves, decreasing sickness and production losses in the feedlot, and ultimately helping enhance beef quality are all key benefits of the SelectVac preconditioning program from Pfizer Animal Health. Reporting from Nebraska, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
To get started with the SelectVac program, contact your veterinarian or your local Pfizer Animal Health representative, or just visit us at cattlemantocattleman.org. We'll be right back.
Discover a great roundup for beef producers. Now, Boehringer Ingelheim Vetmedica Incorporated has rounded up the top brands of animal health products. You bet your boots you won't find more ways to protect your cattle. So trust the leader to protect your cattle. Trust Boehringer Ingelheim. Talk to your Boehringer Ingelheim Animal Health representative and discover how we can help your operation.
Purina's wind and rain minerals are research tested and field proven to provide balanced mineral nutrition essential for cattle health, growth, and reproduction. They're highly palatable so cattle consume what they need when they need it. And wind and rain minerals special formulation resists the elements so they won't blow out of the feeder and maintain their palatability even if they've been wet. Wind and rain cattle minerals from Purina Mills, building better cattle.
You know, I didn't think I could afford to vaccinate for scours. Then my vet told me about Guardian vaccine. Guardian offers the most complete coverage of anti-scours vaccine. And now Guardian can protect my calves against E. coli up to 6 months prior to calving.
It pays to vaccinate with Guardian Scours vaccine.
Thanks to Guardian, I have healthier calves and healthier profits.
Quality matters to me because I love my family. I want to raise my family here like generations before me. My family has always worked together and played together. We have always laughed together and cried together. My family is my life. Careful stewardship of the animals and resources that are under my care benefits my family. They live where I work and eat the same food that I produce. I'm proud of what we'll do here today.
Tough trailers built for tough country. Big Ben Trailers manufactures a different kind of trailer, one that's built to put up with the rough conditions found on the ranch. Rugged build using heavy-gauge powder-coated steel and a 2x4 rectangle tube frame. There's a 1-inch gap between the side and floor, so there's no place for water or manure to accumulate and rust. Big Ben Trailers are loaded with standard features: a lever-action hitch, a 3-foot escape gate, and a middle sorting gate, rhino lining along the front edges, and a receiver hitch to tow another trailer, chute, or other equipment. Tough and practical. That's Big Ben Trailers, designed and built by a working cattleman. You can rely on and trust Big Ben Trailers for their durability and convenient features. Reasonably priced for any rancher to afford. For a list of dealers and other design features, visit BigBenTrailers.com. Big Ben Trailers, built cattlemen tough.
Now, nothing goes better with a good steak than a great glass of wine. One of the new events at the 2010 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show was a wine tasting reception. Convention attendees had the chance to try out some different wines while mingling with friends and visiting about different booths. Reporter Marvin Kokash has an inside look at this new event.
New convention goers and veterans alike took advantage of one of the new events at the NCBA trade show in San Antonio, the Waltz Across Texas wine tasting reception sponsored by Novus International.
This is the third year I've been here, and they've actually never done wine tasting.
I have been since 1975, most of them, not all of them, convention.
Many people were excited to see a new twist in the trade show festivities.
I had to try the wine tasting. I think it's a good idea.
I just really like it because we always have the beer, and I'm not really a beer girl, but I am a wine girl.
The wine tasting reception was designed to help promote NCBA and help trade show attendees connect.
We need to be more visible, whether it's at a wine tasting or whether it's at a trade show. It's the fact that we come down here and set policy and to be involved in that. Trade show is great, always has been. You get to see new and innovative things that we see coming down the pike.
Essentially walk from booth to booth, talk to people. I'm big on the networking because I want my name out there. And it's really good too because I've come back here, like I said, the last 3 years, and I've already got people being like, hey, I recognize you from last year.
Those who attended the wine tasting marked the event as a huge success.
Well, I think the line speaks for itself, and I think it's just another way too to bring in just another part of the agriculture industry, because I kind of think of the beer relates down to distiller grains to cattle, and then you can also relate that to the wineries as well, because they do have byproducts that we use in the cattle industry.
And of course, when there's a variety of wine, there's always room to try something new.
I've only tried the Chardonnays because I'm definitely a Chardonnay person, but I do have one more little cork left, so I'll probably try another, like a Cabernet Sauvignon or something like that.
Found a new one that very good.
Ultimately, no one can argue that wine and steak are made for each other.
Maybe not white wine with beef, but definitely red wine with beef.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Wine is good for the heart and beef is good for everything, and there's nothing better.
Reporting from the 2010 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show in San Antonio, I'm Marvin Kokash for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Breed associations play an important role in supporting America's cattlemen. Reporter Matt Fleck recently had the chance to visit the American International Charolais Association in Kansas City, Missouri, to learn more about this continental breed.
Connected to the cattle industry his entire life, Neil Orth was thrilled when he had the chance to join the American International Charolais Association.
When the opportunity became available to become the executive vice president of this organization and the Charolais cattle and to be involved in this breed, I felt like it was a great opportunity.
Neil has been the executive vice president of AICA since 2001 and strongly believes in the contribution this breed makes to the beef industry.
Charolais breed was the first to get into the U.S., and the Charolais breed was the first to make an impact on leaner cattle and more growth and more feed efficiency. I would say that they have a great impact on where we are today in the beef industry.
People all over the world are taking notice and interest in the association.
Our membership is very diversified. We have members from coast to coast and border to border and internationally as well. You know, we have producers who have 1 cow or 4 or 5 cows, or we have producers who have 1,500 to 2,000 to 2,500.
There's even room for the younger crowd to get involved as a member of the AICA Junior Association.
It's an annual membership, and we normally will have right around 1,000 juniors. They are governed just like our adult association is. The junior board members are elected from a region. They have 3 to 4 board meetings a year. They come up with some projects and some projects that they want to do and complete.
AICA also helps fund junior shows in various cities across the country.
We dedicate obviously some resource in time and money here to the juniors because we think it's a very important program. Knowing that not every junior is going to come back into the association as a cattle or Charolais producer, but somewhere along the way we feel like that they will always have those roots with Charolais and they will go into the industry, back into the industry.
They will take charge hosting the Junior National Leadership Conference this summer in South Dakota. But that's not the only exciting event going on this year.
We are hosting the 2010 World Charolais Congress. in which we are anticipating attendance of 200 and 250 attendees from different parts of the country, and we're kind of expecting about 20 different countries to be represented.
It starts in Oklahoma at the National Cowboy Hall of Fame and then continues throughout Texas as the group visits purebred breeders, bull sales, and even puts on their own video auction sale.
We're really excited about hosting that event. It's an event that happens every other year, and different countries host that every other year. So it's our turn, and we're looking very much forward to that.
For NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, I'm Matt Fleck.
Now, if you're interested in becoming a member of the American International Charolais Association, their junior program, or you want to register for the World Charolais Congress, visit us at cattlemantocattleman.org.
Draxxin, clearly cattlemen's #1 choice to fight BRD. Here's why.
Nothing's more depressing in a stalker business as the doctor and doctor. And you still have your chronics, you still have your death loss. And with Draxxin, we just found out that, especially with microplasts, you just had to be there to see the results.
And the evidence backs up what most cattlemen already know. Draxxin cuts chronics and mortalities by 70%. So talk to your veterinarian and check the online calculator at Draxxin.com. You'll see, nothing gives you more for your money when you're fighting BRD.
Just a great antibiotic. Very, very effective. Don't let the price tag scare you. It's a no-brainer. You just use it.
Do not use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older. Do not use in calves to be processed for veal. Draxxin has a pre-slaughter withdrawal time of 18 days. Please visit Draxxin.com or call 1-888-DRAXXIN for more information.
Your older utility tractor's never been worth more. Come into your John Deere dealer and we'll custom make a deal just for you. Cash discounts, 0% financing. Either way, we'll give you a great deal and put you in a new John Deere 20 to 140 horsepower utility tractor. Stop by your John Deere dealer today and see why John Deere quality has never been easier to own. Offer ends July 31st. Offer subject to approved credit on John Deere credit installment plan. See dealer for details.
Comprehensive, practical, powerful. Now's the time to put the power of DNA to work in your herd with the comprehensive Identity Profile. The inside information from Identity can help you make more confident replacement heifer and herd sire selection decisions, add marketability to your feeder cattle, make faster genetic progress, and more. The best time to get started is when you're already working cattle, during branding, weaning, or bull soundness exams. Get started today. Visit iGenity.com or call 1-877-IGENITY to put the power of DNA to work in your herd.
From fresh tomatoes to potatoes and chicken to beef, we're as picky about our quality ingredients as you are. Because that's what we're made of.
At each year's Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show, one of the big drawing cards is the Cattle Learning Center demonstration area, where experts provide hands-on learning in areas such as horsemanship, low-stress cattle handling, and much more. No doubt one of the most popular demonstrations each year is with stock dogs, and this year was no exception. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Dave Russell brings us the story.
On most ranches, if there's any dogs around, come time to do any cattle work, the dogs are put away. And so many people seem to think that you almost have to be a professional dog trainer to train and handle a dog. And this is really not true.
When it comes to working with cow dogs and using them to handle cattle with ease, Charlie Trayer knows his stuff.
Watch him. Bring him on. The reason it's better, if you get these cattle dogs, bro, it's easy to handle them. You know, you can go out any day of the year, any time of the day, and go gather your cattle and pen them, and it's not a big deal. You know, and that's where most people have the most trouble is getting their cattle gathered and penned. And with these dogs, if they're used right, it's just a simple thing.
Charlie speaks from experience. He spent 40 years using dogs to help handle the herd on the Cottonwood Ranch in the Flint Hills of Kansas. These days, Charlie lives in North Texas, where he's a top-notch trainer of stock dogs. And the breed he favors is called the Hanging Tree Cow Dogs.
Yeah, this is Gunny. He's one of my stud dogs, and then this is Ruby. She's a nice little female. These are the Hanging Tree Cow Dogs, and what that is, it's a composite breed that a man named Gary Erickson developed. It's been over 30 years ago when Gary started with this. I guess the importance is, to me, it's a better way of handling stock. They're a retrieving type dog that goes out and gathers cattle and brings them back to you. They're aggressive, tough enough dogs that can handle all types of cattle, but at the same time, they're good disposition dogs. They're intelligent, easy to train.
Charlie believes too many people don't realize what a well-trained dog can do for their cattle operation.
Around the country, cattle dogs and stock dogs so much of the time have a really bad reputation because nobody's ever been exposed to good ones that have some discipline in mind and work correct. All they've ever been exposed to and seen are dogs that have no control and just cause them trouble. So that's been my main objective, is to expose people to these dogs and what you can do with them. You can do so much with good dogs that handle and are under control. I've got ranchers and cowboys all over the country using dogs and doing a very good job getting a lot of work done. These dogs are very intelligent, and there's really no limit to what you can teach them if you have the desire to do so.
Charlie says he usually starts training a dog at about a year old, and a good hard month of work, plus a lot of patience, can get a dog ready to start working cattle and gaining experience.
You can teach a dog to do a lot in a small pasture, have him really working great. Boy, you think you got the greatest dog ever lived, and then you take him to another place, he's lost. It's just a different situation. He doesn't know what to do. So you need to expose these dogs to different situations, and the more you do, the better they're going to get. But it takes, in 3 months' time, you can have a really good dog.
Having worked on a ranch himself, Charlie believes the real value of a good, hard-working cow dog is that he can put money in a cattleman's pocket.
Absolutely. That was kind of the main point I tried to stress in this demonstration, that depending on how many cattle you're handling, but if it comes shipping day and if you can go out and gather them and walk them to the pens in a quiet, low-stress manner and get them there the quickest way possible without having trouble and get them in there and get them across the scales, that's a big money deal. The more cattle you got there, the less strength you got on them, it can amount to a lot of money. But wherever I go, whether I'm horseback or foot, these dogs are going to bring the cattle to me unless I tell them to do something else.
So how do you get a cow dog that can help make you money? Charlie says it starts with a little bit of discipline from you.
The main thing is that you need to have the commitment to go out and work with your dog and spend the time with it. And you got to have some patience and desire to do it. That's probably, and you got to have a dog that has the desire to work for you and respond to you. You can't make a cow dog out of a bird dog or something like that. You got to have a good bred dog.
Good cow dogs like Gunny and Ruby.
Like I say, I'm going to stay back away from the cattle and let these dogs just work on the backside of the herd here.
I'm Dave Russell reporting for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
You can get more information on Charlie Trainer and his stock dogs by visiting cattlemantocattleman.org. We'll be right back.
Your feedlot is a pack-on-the-pounds enterprise where your goal is to get the animals to market fast. Every minute counts as you battle the weather, livestock genetics, and health issues. Now there's a powerful new dual-action therapy for the hospital pen that shares your need for fast action. Resflor Gold. Ask your veterinarian about Resflor Gold. See improvement in as few as 6 hours with Rest Floor Gold.
I'd like a moment with you dairy men, and if you're watching this, I'll assume you're done milking, to talk about the Dairy Beef Quality Assurance Program. DBQA has been designed to reduce lameness, bruises, and impolite behavior in the dairy cows and calves and steers that you're going to market for beef. The point is to guarantee as best we can to your buyers and to the consumer that we know what we're doing, that we're treating our animals right, and that the meat they buy is safe and wholesome. Because every milk cow and dairy calf you sell is going to wind up on a plate someday, and we want to make sure that our consumers have a great dining experience, right? Dairy BQA helps furnish you with management tools and useful information to increase the value of the cattle you market. So I invite y'all to check it out at dbqa.org. See what it takes to be involved in your state. Because that's the right thing to do.
Quality matters to me because I'm responsible for the care and preserving the health of cattle every day. Healthy cattle are the key to safe and wholesome beef. As a vet, I work hard to look out for the well-being of the cattle, no matter the time of day, no matter the weather. I'm here for the animals, and my work matters when it comes to the safety of the beef Americans eat. I'm proud of what we'll do here today.
Trust. Out here, it's that rare combination of reliability, integrity, and the peace of mind that comes with having both. After 20 years of making hitches, the B&W turnover ball has become the most trusted gooseneck hitch in the country. Why is that important? Because trust is not only hard to earn, it's hard to find. The turnover ball gooseneck hitch by B&W. Trusted.
Beef Quality Assurance, BQA, is a program designed to ensure the consumer that your beef is safe and wholesome and of the highest quality, and it lets the buyers of your calves know that you know what you're doing. It's consumer friendly and can be a big part of giving them a great dining experience. So check it out at bqa.org and see what it takes to get involved in your state. Whether you got 15 cows or 1,500, it's the right thing to do.
There are many occupations that require a person to immerse themselves in how shall I put it, dirty jobs. Trash men, mechanics, fish cleaners, and plumbers who have to have moments when they think, I'd rather be eating bugs than doing this. But from a veterinary point of view, there are some procedures that are so ooky, I have to sleep like this for 2 or 3 days. But this is one of life's nastiest jobs. There is nothing more disgusting, more deserving to condemn than a basket full of laundry from the local DVM. See, afterbirth is oil-based and needs to soak in hot, like adipose tissue, but blood, of course, is not. It requires a frigid bath to make the stain repent. The problem with cold water is it sets the tag cement. Cat hair slips unnoticed, even by the sharpest eye, and spreads like dying dandelions in contact with a dryer. Samples, long forgotten, and pockets pasted shut, flavor all the laundry with fermented porcine gut. Organophosphate fragrance gently lingers in the air, mixing with the rumen contents on his underwear. Iodine and methyl blue, Vitatomy remains, dog shampoo, dehorning paste and suppurating drains, abscessed ears and hooves and horns and poop from who knows what. All gather in the dirty clothes to spot and clot and rot and later gets recycled as that ever-present scum that's now part of your Maytag, living on ad nauseum. The veterinarian's laundry can disrupt a married life. It's enough to make you jealous of a truck mechanic's wife. But there is no lofty moral, just a sense of deja vu. A warning now remembered that should have been a clue when your groom gave you his hanky as his darling bride-to-be. You should have been suspicious when it smelled like tomcat pee. So don't let bloody coveralls or body parts of cows distract you from the promise spoken in your wedding vows. If laundries come between you, I'd suggest this little trick. Soak the spots in gasoline and flick it with your Bic. This is Baxter Black from out there.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at this week's Legacy Photos. We love looking at your photos, so keep sending them in. To do so, visit our website at cattleman2cattleman.org. We'll see you right back here next week on RFD TV.